So, yeah, we're going to just see if we can catch a couple of miners before everyone flies out. But
okay.
yeah, and then
I didn't know if you could use those because they brighten up the suite. You want to come in real quick?
you
gotta go.
I've really got 30 seconds.
Okay. Yeah. Come in.
What's
Say hi to Dan or Dave.
Oh, hey guys.
What's up? Yeah, we're actually recording a little bit.
Okay.
What were you coming to say hi for the video?
For the video, my friends, my new friend, my old friend.
Yeah.
And just checking out. So.
Your money's on the wall.
Excellent.
Your money's on the wall.
Tell me about the money. Tell me about the money. I don't know about the money.
The money I paid a pittance for this guy. For this guy.
That's a good one.
That's a great one.
And it's and this is how you know it's a pittance because it's also autographed.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I had it inscribed.
Nice.
As you can see here. So, yep. Got my pen, and I'm sure there'll be some notes worth taking. So, in any case, I will leave you to
on
it.
time.
Yeah, appreciate you guys.
Yes.
Be well.
Good to see you.
We'll catch you guys soon.
Yeah.
Totally.
All right.
Bumped into you earlier, right?
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah. You guys are making Starbucks famous.
All right, I'll end this one.
No, leave it.
Leave it.
Oh my God. You have me on camera yelling at you.
All right, here you go.
Is it still rolling from before?
Still rolling.
Love it. What happened at breakfast? Rick started with his dream. He had two dreams. They both had to do with compression algorithms. I won't go into details, but he, trust me, did. And I pretended like I cared because I actually did care. And Sean, that VIP, he works at Terrible. And Sean didn't know who I was. But it mattered because I was like, Rick, stand up and say hi to him. Stand up and say hi to him. And so we killed dinner. And then I used one of the thank you cards. Did you use a thank you card?
No, not yet.
When you get comped dinner, I gave you thank you cards.
Yeah.
I gave you thank you cards. No. It was just Dan and Rick. Then Kartik sits down. And I have 10 pages of notes. Guess how many notes he took?
None.
The conclusion. The Larry Chang Unofficial Block Symposium. Do you know that Square rebranded to Block? Yeah. The fuck? Right?
Yeah.
So nobody knows that Square does block stuff. Time for a user conference. Who's gonna produce that user conference? You think a bunch of Canadians are gonna? Because that's a conclusion. Guess what we get to do? Because we did not ace Bitcoin Miami. Yes.
Host that.
Using what? What protocol?
External API.
What's it the external API to? Are you writing any stuff down? You're getting the answers. Well, I'll just watch the video later, Professor.
No. I'm guessing there's an event that's coming up that they're having.
Who's they? Lazy API caller. Who's they?
Well, now they're called Block. I'm guessing Block. They're not.
No.
Okay.
That's it? That's all
This
you
is
got?
all new to me. This is all new to me. I didn't.
This is not all new to you. This is how you enter everything. This is all new to me. And the 7th iteration of Kendra Scott made a superstition.
So we're
Look
doing
at this, look at this, look at this, look at this.
Yeah.
You like that? Secret hand signs. It's like baseball.
So we're doing their lead gen for them.
There you go.
We're doing their lead gen for them because.
What do you
they're
mean
doing
by
a
that?
shit job. They're not good at bringing in customers, and they're not good at bringing in awareness.
That's only because you've been doing that for your sandwich shop and Vagina Whispering, which you've been doing great on. What are the external APIs? What's step number 1?
Step number 1 is list out all the external APIs that we could use.
Okay, but step 0 then. This is the first time.
What's the problem?
Correct. What did you say? This is all new to me? Is that what
The
you
only
said?
part that's new to me is that I don't know.
You said this
I
is
did
all-
say that.
Yeah,
I know
you
I
say
did.
that. And that's how you are at paralysis of a 13-year-old boy.
I see. Yeah.
Where, I mean, you're kind of full of crap when you're being full of crap. So, like, you're full of crap when you shouldn't be, and you have, like, you don't know what you know.
So the problem is people don't know what square is. No, people know what square is, but they don't know what block is. Is that what the problem is? They're rebranding.
Yes. And this is also, yes. So the thing that is step 0 is you want to look for an anchor that you're the satellite to. Because when you say list out all the external APIs, like you're forgetting what you're listing the APIs to. Because you did sloppy work, because I did the work, and then you didn't read it. During what case study? I wrote it all out. I gave you the anchor. When did you fail? When did you fail? And this should have been a thing where that's the last time you failed. What case study was it?
Kendra Scott.
After that, we'll count Kendra Scott as a success because you finally did it. What was after that? Where you wouldn't watch the trailer?
Dungeons and Dragons.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
So what's the anchor? What's the anchor?
2 Dungeons and Dragons.
What's the anchor?
We had the what happened?
It's always anchor plus satellite.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this is a satellite thing, but you don't even, you're just gonna start listing out satellites, but you don't even know what it's anchored to. That's step 0, right?
Yeah.
That's step 0. So what's the Dungeons & Dragons anchor?
The Dungeons and Dragons cosplay formal.
Nope, that's a satellite.
That was
Do you
okay.
see
It was
how
a
you
launch
don't know
party.
there
It was
is-
a launch party then.
That's also a satellite. That's the unofficial launch party. So the anchor is the movie itself, Dungeons and Dragons. And do you see how like you don't even know when I'm point blank asking you the
Yeah.
most basic question?
Yeah.
And that's anchor plus satellite, and you still won't do it because you don't believe in it, or you don't trust yourself, or you just don't think I know what I'm talking about, which is why you execute in the way that you do with hesitation. Am I being too hard on you?
No, this is great.
Right?
No puddles.
Because the anchor, which those guys gave us, is decentralized mining, July 25 to 27. Mining Disrupt. I'm basically a co-founder of that franchise. Or a prequel. Mining Disrupt, July 25 to 27. And if you want to stop watching now, the answer is July 14th. We're doing a after party to Mining Disrupt Does this sound familiar to you? Does this sound vaguely familiar?
Yeah.
In a way that you're like, wait a minute. I already said yes to this before. Am I dreaming this? Or is this deja vu?
Am I your co-founder?
What?
Your co-founder. Like, did I already say no to this?
Exactly.
No.
Wait a minute. Didn't I already say no to this? And I'm somehow here? Did you just pitch this differently? Yeah. Like, who doesn't love Vegas? Oh my God, you're not even, I didn't even trick him. I just asked him in a different way. So, what are the dates for Mining Disrupt? Because that's the anchor.
July 25th to the 27th.
In Miami. Daniel's getting married on the 28th. So he can't come. That's Friday. So we're doing the 14th in Austin because we're lazy. And we're calling that the after party. And we're selling tickets to Mining Disrupt. Is the conference going to be called What They Don't Teach You at Mining Disrupt? Maybe. But more probably it'll be the Vagina Whisperer Unofficial Block Symposium. Do you see how you get to just paste copy that QR code and try to get it on the right URL landing page? I know that's going to take like 60 to 70 points of IQ to do.
It's fixed.
But I get the feeling that you're going to be able to do it. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you see how this is just glorious?
Yeah.
Because that treasure map is a puddle.
Yeah.
Like, that's not getting anybody their money back. Because, well, this looks like a treasure map. This doesn't look like a war room.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, I labeled it wrong too. Well, I labeled it Little War Room, but like, and then your notes blown up. They're not even blown up. Okay. The Unofficial Block Symposium. You're organizing a user conference for Block without Block's consent. And guess who we're selling this to?
Block.
Yeah, because the external API always comes back inside the house. And guess who we're going? We're winning. We're winning. Why would we not win?
Yeah.
Why would we not win? A couple of flowers. We'll just paste copy everybody. We'll paste copy the whale party. We'll paste copy the whale party. That's an external API on the 24th of July. So that's the launch party. Do you see how it's all the Dungeons and Dragons stuff?
Yeah.
Launch party. Mining Disrupt. Brought to you by the co-founder of Disrupt. Because I'm literally the co-founder of Disrupt. Because I did TC40. I definitely did TC50. And if I did TC40 and TC50 and you rebrand the thing to TC Disrupt, I'm a co-founder. Because I'm the solo founder of the after party for TC40. And I'm the guy who sold 20% of the tickets for TechCrunch Disrupt. Brady's got some opinions. You want some video time, buddy? Come here. Want some video time? Brady, and it's TV time. So it started with Rick's dream. And then he gave me the genius thing, which is density stacking up for ASICs miners, like mining. And so then those guys walked into a trap, which is my LinkedIn account. You either have 19,000 contacts or 6 contacts. And then Kartik guessed 50, and then Rick guessed a lot or a little, I don't know. I'm like 1, Rolf Botha. And then they're like, he invested in Square Block Square, and he needs to know about these things. I'm like, Rolf, you're welcome. You're welcome. gets to buy into Vagina Whisperer. What's the thing called? Vagina Whisperer. What's my conference called?
You said the unofficial block symposium.
Oh, the Larry Chang unofficial block symposium. So the Vagina Whisperer block symposium. So he gets to walk right into that. And then you basically sell unit economics, external API, because their company is actually real estate arbitrage, where you find some shitty apartment building and then you convert it into mining. Oh, it gets too hot, blah, blah, blah. Well, guess what? Rick then says, we sell insurance. And then Dan's like, oh, this is the guy who can financialize anything. What do you mean?
But you don't need money to make money.
You don't need money to make money. So then ASIC servers, tank systems, 1/10. So ASIC's problems: overheating, dirt, dust, where miners get deep, and then fans, they die. And then real world insurance. How to do what Duck 9 does without having to hire Duck 9. This is the money shot. This is, have you recognized this document?
Sam Altman?
Yeah. What did he co-found?
ChatGPT.
Yeah. So that's CS183B. And then what's the big cloud around him?
Larry Chang.
It is, where I'm ChatGPTing the founder by owning his ass every time he talks. Lectures 1 through 20. In CS183, EUBM is 1, Engineer Up a Business Model, Alexander Ostrander book. Guess how many times Sam read that? 0 to 1. Peter Thiel, pun intended.
Nice.
Thank you. Roloff Botha, square becomes block. And then those guys are just licking their chops at the opportunity to try to network with Roloff, thinking a warm intro and 250K. Kartik, after 10 pages of genius, goes, yeah, so can you help us get a 250K investment, strategic investment from Block? I'm like, I just gave you 10 pages of genius where you get $3 million for free for their M&Aing your user conference. And he asked for 250K. Who read that spot on at the airport? Who read that spot on? Say his name.
Karthik.
Say
Dan. Sorry, who read that? Larry Chang. You predicted it. Sorry, I thought you were telling me who you were predicting.
Good job just exposing the guilty. Yeah. Who predicted that?
Larry Chang at the airport.
Spot on.
Just with questions.
Basic questions. Basic questions. 10 pages of genius. Rick Majorson is a whale. Mm-hmm. Like, he eats and dreams like immersion cooling. OCP, whatever that stands for. Like, I don't know any of this stuff, but you know what I do know? How to be relentlessly capital efficient with your money. And the $50 on the wall.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take that $50, I'm gonna round trip it back to them, and we're splitting that money 98-2. Block. They're worried about the entire stack outside of China, maybe 2 Bitcoins, Block, gridless, hydro dams, chips. Block already invested in a company, Gridless, in Africa. They want it entirely USA made. They spend 20 to 40 million in R&D. Russo USA software plus Plano, Texas is immersion requirements. And I'm like, okay, strap in, page 7. You're gonna have to man charm, Crasher to V, VIP, dumber and smarter than you. Dumber and smarter than you. That's page 7. 8. The block. Page 8. The unofficial Block Symposium.
The unofficial Larry Chang.
And then that's
Larry
what it
Chang
is.
unofficial block symposium.
And then you add the Larry Chang at the beginning. Or Vagina Whisperer. But basically it's the unofficial Block Symposium. And they're like, won't we get a C and D? Like, it says unofficial. We want to use your shit. We might use your competitor's shit. We're calling it unofficial. We're doing it on the 14th as an external API to disrupt blah, blah, blah. Deadly.
Yeah, super deadly.
Deadly. Mining disrupt. Tell me when mining disrupt. Kartik right away, the 25th to the 27th. Rick, how do you manipulate people? Larry, you make them think that buying you guys in that franchise was their idea. Because at Block right now, they're struggling with shipping. Too many meetings, trying to ship the perfect thing. So what are we doing? We're shipping for you while you get out of your own way, and then you can just buy us.
Wow.
We have action from Avi. Last night, we have action. We have action. The cold open bachelorette party. We have
She
action.
texted you back.
We have action. We have pictured action. Just saying. So July 25th, 27th, I'm like, hey, just do it July 28th. Dan's like, can't, getting married. So then I was like, okay, you guys are kind of losing right now because you guys haven't taken any paper notes. So just like Sean with the NDA, remember? Like, you can just have him sign an NDA right there. You got a whale on the hook who needs to proceed. Have him sign the NDA on a piece of paper. Is it binding? Whatever. But that way you push forward. You worry about it later. Dan was the only guy who bought a notebook. I'm like, how about you two fuckers? They wouldn't buy it. After how much value did I provide? They wouldn't give me $50.
That you see your genius shit of temperature checks.
Genius, because that is definitely a temperature check. That's a heat check.
Genius heat check.
Genius heat check.
I'm writing that down. Genius heat check. Sell the notebook.
Yeah, for $50 because I sold them on the fact that they're buying me tomorrow's breakfast. And they're like, yeah, well, don't you have a bunch of breakfast coupons? So they're kind of hesitant with it. And then Rick was like, oh, well, only if you throw in a, something. And I'm like, dude, how many thousands of dollars have I already given you? It should be whatever you want, Larry, whatever you want.
That's a really good test on their comprehension of what you said as well.
Yep. And do you see any value in it?
Yeah.
And then I hit him with, I apologize for being on a 90-minute rant. I apologize for being on a 90-minute rant. I'm sorry you had to sit through it. Another temperature check. And then the minority dude goes, oh, it was okay. Oh, it's okay. I was like, did you just fail another temperature check?
Yep.
He's like, no, that's okay. And then he's like, I do have a question. So ideally we'd want to get $250K in strategic investment from Block. How would you recommend we do that? I was like, you want me to get you another 3 mil? I'm like, what are you fundraising? He's like, 3 mil on 24 pre. I'm like, how about if we give you just 3 mil just for like this, and you don't have to give back any, you don't have to give away any stock. And then all the people that committed to you for stock, why don't you just give them like a hug and a couple of warrants? And then now you're legendary. Be like, hey, that 3 mil we're gonna raise? We got it for free from Block. Oh, fuck. Now I gotta buy in. Well, we have enough runway probably till IPO. So we're capital efficient. And guess what? Every investor tells 50 of their friends. Who gives money back? Or look, we're raising the 3, but we're raising it in an 80 round. but we're gonna take 60% of your 3, and we're just gonna give 100% of it back to you, but you get all the stock. What? Right? No, what happened to the 3? Don't you guys need this money? I don't know. Block emanate our one-day show. Block emanate our one-day show. Because we ran an external API. What did you do? Vagina whisperer for the win.
Yeah. I could see how you run circles around people with this.
Yeah. That's just Mark McCormack if he had a CS degree with language that was specific versus Blake. Why do you keep saying external? Why can't you just say partnership? The word's inaccurate.
Yeah.
The word is entirely inaccurate.
Yeah.
That's what it is. That's not how it starts off being. Like it starts off being, I'm making out with Larry's girl, and then you're like, what's that taste? What's that taste?
Oh god.
Your mouth tastes like a dude.
God.
Wait a minute.
Oh my god.
Wait a minute. Did I just taste cum? Did I just taste that? I don't
That's
understand.
hilarious. Oh my gosh.
I don't understand. And he turned, he's like, at any point in time, did you have an orgasm? Yeah. Yeah, Blake. Twice.
That was his face?
That was just, you saw it.
I never heard that exchange of what he asked. I just remember seeing his face do that multiple times throughout the club. Like, he's like, furious.
And then hashtag Shanley.
Hashtag Shanley. Hashtag thank you, Brendan Rashad.
Me and the Pink Panda helped him too. He's gonna like let her get on him.
And she wanted to do something because she was waiting there. Brady, we love you. Happy boy. Happy boy, Brady.
Dan goes, I've known Larry a long time. Any of the 7 people come to this, it lasts a long time on the internet. And then Rick chimes in, yeah, it's like Chad Harris, Rio, and Lyle. And so I told Rick, I was like, hey, you should do you should publish an O'Reilly book, Sebastopol, Tim O'Reilly. He's like, this seems all so familiar. I'm like, yeah, you're like Tim O'Reilly running an external API in a Sun Microsystems. What? Because that was his first book, is publishing the operating manual. Who takes notes? Sit in front row. I want to say March 11, 2011. This guy, Jason Kalkanis, was interviewing Tim O'Reilly, and I'm like, oh my God, Tim O'Reilly, your start is just like my start, except you had a little less talent and a little maybe less good looks, but it was exactly the same start, which is why you stood up at Web 2 Summit. You stood up on a chair. I told everyone I was crashing and I paid $2,000. That's hilarious. And he stands up and he's like, I can't believe you bought a badge. It's $2,000. It's like an hour's worth of, did I say an hour? It's like 6 minutes. Okay, it's a couple milliseconds of lead gen. So I show him, he's like, oh my God, you have a badge. He's like, how did you get a badge? I'm like, I bought it. Like, why did you say you were crashing? Because like, then more people are gonna be curious and watching. And he stands up on a chair. He goes, everybody, I got an announcement. This is Tim O'Reilly, founder of O'Reilly Media, founder of the Sebastopol campus. Stands up on a chair at Web 2 Summit. He goes, everybody, I'm gonna need your attention. I'm gonna need your attention. And everyone's like, is there some crazy tech announcement? He goes, Larry Chang is the biggest and best hustler of Silicon Valley. And people are like, tell us something else we don't already know. And then people are just like, is there anything else? And Tim's like, that's it.
That's funny.
Is that not hilarious?
Yeah.
Stood up on a chair, and I was just like, thanks, Tim.
That's hilarious.
Is that not hilarious?
That's hilarious.
Because that's what he did at Sun. So then, what, 7 years later, 8 years later, 7 or 8 years later, he's getting interviewed, and then he's like, yeah, so Sun didn't produce an operating manual, so we sold the operating manual, and then we took all the orders, and then we went home and we wrote the operating manual. That was our first book. We sold it first. And then Tim goes, I figured you'd love the story. And it was me and the dude from Campus Crusade for Christ, Brian, sitting in the front row. Is that hilarious? And he's like, I can't believe you're Christian. I'm like, don't I check all the boxes for Young Life? Super fun, nerdy as fuck, knows all the rules, and totally sounds not dirty, but like devilish or naughty. Checks all the boxes. So then me and Brian Barella went up and was like, oh yeah, we're taking selfies. And then Tim goes, I knew you'd like that story. And then I kept his name card. And I'm like, will you sign the name card? He's like, yes. I'm like, well, can we make a picture? He's like, yes, Larry, whatever the fuck you want. How easy is it?
Yeah.
You running an external API, and I kind of didn't have the language for it. But then I began to. But now that it is, it's deadly. And then during COVID, I just like honed it. Post questions on down below, and I want to say you're welcome. How many minutes is it?